Hello. Yeah. This evening, I would love to talk with you about a very true subject. And that is called the new normal. Okay? We have acquired a lot of observational, conclusive ideas for human rights and equality and social justice, prevalence, and democracy promotion without force. And in moral relativism and ethical relativity, and accepting people if they're a little different is the way to go, not having any stereotypes. And so, in this ethical, welcoming collective consciousness, arrive at not quite knowing what normal is. Because people are people and everybody's wired differently, and that's just good enough for normal people, right? That's the reality. Yeah? So this term called the new normal is nothing far from strange. Makes a lot of sense. Okay? It is a direct cultural impact on folks having strange thoughts because of failures. And their unconscious is just coming out and saying, hey, this is the reality. If you can't accept me, burn in hell. Kiss my ass. That's right, I'm a bitch. Because bitch means I take care of myself. And this is the new normal because folks are in response of a civilization filled with depreciation. People are not wanting to be afraid of themselves. They're willing to look at themselves in the mirror and say, this is me. Yeah? If you can't love me while I'm fat, then why should I accept you right now? Where you're going to love me when I lose my weight. You know, it's all or nothing. This new normal is about admitting and acknowledging the selfishness of culture and the need to manipulate and satisfy the ego. And so there is tremendous shame. Yes. And the public sector, they do not know quite how to love themselves. And so the new normal is here to wash that away and create a new slate. Because it's important to be patient with yourself. Many people in the new normal are too smart for their own good. They're out there saying there's no jobs, there's no opportunities, but yet they have to create opportunity for themselves. In the new normal, it's important to not care about anything but gaining sense of self-worth by looking within the self. Folks will call this the investigation of the inner aura, that which I have learned from Pierre. Okay, he did a great lecture on that. Special thanks to Pierre. So we have a perfectionist society, don't we? But with lost social institutions. And the new normal is to recover that through careful evaluation in the clarification of why we are confused. We've believed the big fat lie straight from hell that the value we have is determined by what we own, which is wrong. It's not true at all. We want to help people become themselves and not be bashful or afraid, as the United States of America is very oversexed. And it has been at, of course, the expense of many families. The new normal in an oversexed society has to make the conscious effort to leave the distorted sexuality and the perversions of power that have been built up from this denial and playing with the devil. And of course is part of the betrayal of family, and it explains a lot of corruption and greed, because the men want to provide for their children and their wives in a system where we should not even be on the money system. We should be on the gold system, that or bartering. The new normal mentality out there is a group of people that know what it means to break the rules, and through the anarchy, not necessarily violence, but the social transformative change, knowing that those that run the system are criminal as those that are breaking the rules. And in that, there is extreme, violent immortality of humankind. As people feel like shit because they have been living far too many years and making special efforts to be subservient to Satan's helpers. And you can go ahead and decide what that means to you. I'm just kind of putting it out there as an extreme ideological aspect to many people encumbered by religion as a way to explain humanity. And so others have made privileges for other people by putting their needs aside and becoming mind slaves or mental slave whores to the system of Satan. And so people feeling like shit have only resulted to a peevish way to even plot stratagems to help themselves overcome this rulership that's over them, and not relying on a luciferic vanity of I place value of myself through that which has been attained through money. The new normal does not think it's okay to be involved in the occult, because there is a predicament where through people's stupidity we are really fooling ourselves, because we are not allowed to have trusted relationships established in any type of global human family or safer global communities. It is about not disrespecting the self, rather being honest with one's need to have healthy bonds with folks. The new normal understands that when you put your heart out there, you get preyed upon as somebody that's being played. Thus, total ungratefulness for the family, what you were born into as the most tremendous gift for your humane life sustainability, has obviously been shitted upon. And the heart of man is going elsewhere to find love in all the wrong places, with all the incorrect manifestos using sexuality. The new normal is cognizant that homosexuality, and the whole world thinking that it needs to become gay because the world is broke and people want to go where all the money is a thing that is destroying people. And it is out of balance and out of control, and it is blinding the soul from seeing the preciousness of one's life to cherish that is derailed because of this betrayal of family. In the betrayal of family, and keeping into consideration the new normal, there is this abuse put upon the victim, and people don't want to be seen as the victim, but yet the survivor. Notwithstanding, because the system is still dominated by liars and selfish freaks that don't want to be confronted, there is this victimization that continues. Opening up the eyes and not blinking them, unlike the people that are looking at people straight into the eyes to victimize them, and not skipping a word, the new normal is entitled to live forthright, not at the expense of anybody's emotions, but for the betterment and progression of society. This leads us to know that there is no need to be insecure, because everybody is born noble. Now, being too smart for the own good of humanity is a big problem, because where there's no jobs, mankind is forced to depend on a success within the self as the new normal, to reach life on life's terms and make an opportunity for the self. I encourage people to not misuse the ideas of gaining power in terms of empowerment, to not lead a life of arrogance and market to creepy people with sinister ambitions to walk upon the disadvantage. The new normal is to ask questions, because for each man, we have to work on businesses, new ways of conducting cash flow, right? Through better motivation that builds one another up. So you're making an investment in business to optimize what you're willing to allot as your true real estate, the assets in your brain. In the financial world right now, 2013, people are taking more risk, and they're very forgiving for what the nation dealt with in 2008. And so we must be in love with the unknown as the new normal, to remain very retrospective and moderate in how we are perceiving volatile people around us. There's this barbell thinking to pick up new challenges and build your mental health capacity, to build those spiritual muscles. As you improve efficiency, you manage your future, and it becomes the gateway and the good defense to helping people in their life skills, in reevaluating the risks that are okay to take, to have positive tolerance in the fear-based mind control programming that's all around us. And as you speak forthright, edifying words to people in your global human family, you are shifting their neuro-linguistic programming. And you are helping people as you are helping yourself establish those trusted relationships. So these are pertinent ideas as you are understanding the new normal. May God bless you as you think new and you have this insight of creating your new belief systems as a very normal process to your metamorphoses. God bless you.